Hi, my name is Rabbi Rossman. I'm the director of the yeshiva here at Aish Torah. So much to say about Ethan. And just the day that he passed away, on Sunday afternoon, I walked into the Beit Midrash, into the study hall, and he used to sit right by the door, and immediately stood up, as he always did, with his great respect for the rabbis. And I went over to him, I said, Ethan, you're learning stark, which means you're learning strong. He said, Rabbi. He grabbed me and he said, Rabbi, I'm learning strong, with that beautiful, tremendous smile from ear to ear that he always had. It was a contagious smile, and it came from a very deep place, a very, very pure and holy neshama. One time I had a conversation with him about certain clothing that he bought for Shabbos, very nice clothing. And I said, the guys here don't wear clothing like that. Sometimes the rabbis wear it. That's not like the regular clothing to wear here. So, Ethan, maybe you shouldn't wear this yet. You're just starting off in the yeshiva. And he said, but Rabbi, it's for Shabbos. It's for Shabbat. Shabbat is so holy, so special. He had such a natural energy and love for holiness, for spiritual things. And he said, but Rabbi, if you tell me that I shouldn't do it, I'm not going to do it. Again, that respect and trust for the rabbis to know what's the right thing to do, even though he himself so badly wanted to wear that clothing. But I remember after that meeting, I felt, oh wow, I should be honoring Shabbos more. I should really be respecting and connecting to the Shabbat on a deeper level. And that was with everything that he did. It was so pure and so real that just by having a conversation with him, you really felt connected to him. At the same time, the things that he did was very unassuming. He wasn't walking around yelling about Shabbat. He wasn't walking around yelling about Torah. It was something within. On Monday, the day after Ethan passed away, I was walking down to the kotel, and one of the women who sit on the stairs of the kotel collecting charity, she pulled me over. And she said, the boy who passed away, he was a tzaddik. He was a righteous person. I said, how do you even know who he is? She said, what do you mean? She said, he used to buy me and the other people who collect charity on the steps, he'd bring us kofix. He'd buy us things from the store. And while we're sitting here in the cold or in the hot, he'd bring us food. And I was like, whoa. I said, no one knew this. No one ever would have known this. But it was so indicative of who he was in his quiet, unassuming way, always doing what's doing right, doing what's right. He loved the Torah, and he was always asking questions and wanting to know more. The rabbis would quote things from Tehillim, from Psalms, and he would know exactly what chapter it was, even though he would only read it in English. He just loved it. He loved the things that he was engaged in, and that love and that energy has had an impact in the very short time that he was with us in yeshiva. Had a tremendous impact on all the people here, and the more that we're mourning his loss and thinking about that, we're all recognizing how much we really gained from him. The first time that I met him, when his father brought him to the yeshiva, so his father told me about his father, who was a great rabbi, and he felt that Ethan had his neshama, and I saw that, and he had such a pure and holy soul, and was spreading it outwards and spreading it to other people. My blessing to myself and to our immediate family and our distant family is that we're able to take all the lessons that we experienced living with him for the few months that he was here and allow that to elevate us to higher places, just where Ethan was.
Hi, my name is Ehud. I go to Aish Torah, and I class with Eitan every day from 4 to 6:30. I have the pleasure of being with him, the honor of sitting with him every day and learning Torah with him. And all I can remember and think about is his amazing smile and his incredible optimism and energy in class and outside of class. He always had positive insights. He always had intelligent contributions to the conversation. He always got excited, and he always had a beaming smile. the radiant eyes, and it's something that I will never forget. Also, I usually would sit outside of where we live, and every night, without a doubt, he would pass by on his way to the kotel a couple times, and every time he'd exchange a greeting and a smile. And that's something that I found very unique, because even though it seems something very simple and maybe even insignificant, a smile and a few warm words go a long way. And that's something that was very unique and particular about Eitan. He always smiled. He always had kind words. I never saw him frown. I never saw him in a bad mood. I never heard him say anything negative to people. It was always positive, uplifting, a smile, the twinkle in his eyes. Just everything about him radiated positivity, confidence, and he was always trying to get people up to a higher level. If we were at a Shabbat table, and for some reason there were two people arguing or debating about something, he would immediately try to lift up the mood by saying Shabbos, Shabbat in a very kind, gentle way. And that's something it's also very unique about him. He always was a contributing member of the table, of our classroom, of wherever he was, wherever we had the privilege and honor of having him sit. He was always a very positive person. And I think more than anything, I don't think he came to learn at Asia Torah. I don't think he came to learn with us, but I think he came to teach us. He was only here for 3 months. I thought he'd been here longer. Why did I think he'd been here longer? Because of the impact that he had on us. I saw him every day in class and every day at night. And I think he came to teach us through his personality. He came to teach us through his smile, through the twinkle, the radiance in his eyes, and through his words, through his kindness, through his compassion. And I think that's something that has impacted.
My name is Avraham Yitzchak Elbaz. I'm actually one of the privileged teachers of Ethan, Zichron Livracha. He was in my advanced Chumash class for the short time that he was here in Eretz Yisrael. And I actually met Ethan's mother a few weeks ago. What I learned from Ethan, and I'll tell you a certain story he didn't know that I was watching him, but one time I was at the kotel a few weeks ago in the evening, and Ethan was praying at the left side, all the way at the end of the kotel. And all of a sudden, Ethan just broke out in English. He just broke out with intensity of the Tehillim, of the Psalms of David HaMelech, and he was singing with such intensity, so much so that people had to tell him to quiet down, because they were davening the silent Amidah and they didn't want him to disturb. But Ethan was in his moment, and I was watching and I was thinking to myself, wow, that's something really intense. More than once, when we needed King David's Psalms quoted, and I would say, what number is it? Which Psalm is it? And Ethan would be right in there. He would say, yes, it's Psalm 90, and he'd start saying the verse in English, verbatim. I was so impressed. Not many people have the capacity to pray with intensity, for sure not. And not many people have the capacity to really pay attention to what they're saying and to be able to repeat it back to you right away as a question. Prayer was a big moment for him every day, not only when he prayed in private, but even when he prayed in public as well. It was something very inspiring, and God should give us the strength to go further and to learn from all of Ethan's character and develop ourselves as well. And we hope and pray that this should be some kind of comfort for the family, and his memory should always be with us forever and ever.
My name is Rabbi Lida. I give the Novi, the Prophet Shir in the afternoon, and the Chumash, the Torah Shir in the afternoon. Eitan was a regular member of my Shir. He loved my Shir. He got excited about it. But more than that, we loved having him in the Shir. He was discerning in the sense that whenever it was a good shir, he told me it was a good shir. And he didn't always tell me that. And I could tell when I'd said a good point. He would be concentrating all the way through the question, all the way through the answer. And then, when he got to the point, his whole face would light up when he realized exactly how I'd answered the question. And it did amazing things for me. Every shir that was a good lesson, he would say, Rabbi Lina, that was an amazing class. And that really made my day. His smile, which lit up his whole face, was contagious. It made everyone who came in his space happy and excited to learn with him and excited to teach him. Hashem should comfort you in your time of sorrow, knowing that you had a very, very special son.